How girls really want you to talk to them. Gentlemen, there are 10 tips you need to know to successfully talk with a woman. You see, 50% of dating involves keeping the conversation going with the girl you're with the right way. So if you successfully do this, you've already won half of the battle. Keep watching to not miss any tips I'll be sharing in this video. 10. It's not all about looks. Let's face it, most men would immediately resort to complimenting how a woman looks if they'd want to start a conversation, a pretty basic move. However, quite a lot of girls don't actually like this approach for a couple of reasons. For one, girls already get a lot of compliments from other people, especially their own girlfriends, that like to gas them up for a boost in confidence. A lot of other guys also compliment them on their looks, so to them it feels like such a superficial way of starting a conversation, which usually ends up in a meaningless hookup. Since they also get a lot of guys to compliment them on their looks, they can also feel scared of getting harassed, a serious issue that damages them psychologically. So if you really want to start a conversation and get it to go somewhere, skip past the superficial and try complimenting her about something else. Whereas most men would compliment them on their dress, their face, or their body figure, you should give them a compliment no basic guy would think of. If you really want to start something meaningful with a woman, you're going to have to be creative. 9. Tell them what you love about them. Just as mentioned in number 10, girls don't like basic conversation starters like compliments about their looks. While these compliments are appropriate at times, you have to be careful about the time, place, and manner in which you give these compliments so girls don't see it as harassment. Instead, try to get really creative and unique with your compliments by telling them something they wouldn't normally hear from their girlfriends and most other men. For one, you can tell them how great their hair looks on them, or how their bag really complements their dress. You can even compliment them about their posture or even how they carry themselves in public. One of the best compliments you can give them is one about their fashion sense, not what they're wearing or the lack thereof, but the way they dress. You can give them this compliment by simply saying that you like their fashion sense, something they normally wouldn't hear from just any other guy at a party. Again, you're going to have to be really creative and unique if you want to catch a woman's attention and keep a good conversation going with them. 8. Find something in common. Now that you've successfully caught a woman's attention with a unique compliment, it's time to take the next step and keep the conversation going. One of the best ways to continue a conversation is to find the common ground between you two, as this will often lead either one or even the both of you to just keep talking for hours. There are a lot of things to find in common between people these days. All you have to do is give it a little probe. You can start off by asking her if she's seen one of the shows you've seen recently or what she thinks of this song that you really like. If she responds to those questions by showing the same interest, then you're in luck, as all you have to do now is keep the conversation going by recommending similar shows, artists, or interests. If none of what you like is of her interest, then it's time that you stop talking about your interests and asking her about hers. A lot of girls will be surprised by this move, as not many men are willing to listen to a woman's interests. Asking her about her interests will really tickle her mind and get you started on a deeper conversation, so it's really to your advantage when you hear them out. 6. Get to know about her from her. It's hard to not mind the gossip about a woman, especially if you're really interested in getting to know her and planning to talk to her. You'll hear a lot of things about the woman you're interested in from the people that aren't her, especially if she's very active socially. While some of these things can be true, it wouldn't be good to confront her about it when you're just starting a conversation with her. The best thing you can do is to let her feel safe around you so she can open up to you about the things she went through. This will clear up a lot of things between you two and will clarify the stories you've heard about her from other people that don't speak nicely of her. Let her open up about herself by letting her feel safe around you and giving her the opportunity to talk about who she really is and what she has gone through. However, you shouldn't only let her feel safe just to get an answer out of her, but you also have to let her feel safe while she is talking about herself. This involves not reacting violently when she tells you something you dislike and simply listening and speaking to her calmly as she tells you about herself. This is the best way to let a woman feel good around you and will help you build a meaningful relationship with her in the future. 5. Don't act all clothes. For most of this video, we've talked about what a woman likes when you talk to them, but that doesn't entirely cover how girls really want you to talk to them. We also have to talk about what girls don't like when you talk to them, as there are things that they really dislike when men talk to them in certain ways. Remember that a lot of girls constantly fear getting harassed even when they're in public, so they really hate it when men who try to talk to them get too close and touchy. When you talk to girls, you have to respect their personal space, just like you would respect any other person's personal space in any other setting. Keep your hands to yourself unless she consents to letting you touch her in safe areas like her hands, her arm, and her shoulder. Touching her in any other place will most likely get her scared of you and turn her off. So be careful where you place those hands and remember her personal space. 4. Chill with the gift-giving man. One of the most traditional ways to please a woman is to give her gifts. Every guy knows that. But what a lot of men don't know is that going overboard with the gifts can actually scare a woman away, especially if they feel like you expect something back. If you're planning to give her something nice on your first date, then a simple flower or a bunch of flowers would do. Sometimes giving her some sweet treats goes a long way, but immediately giving her flowers, chocolates, and something expensive on the first date is a huge no-go. Even if it was in your nature to give a person you like many gifts, a woman you are just getting to know will most likely think that you're looking for something in return. Give it some time before you spoil your woman with gifts, as giving as many as you can as early as possible in your relationship will only ruin how she sees you. 3. You and me, baby, together. Remember that girls like to feel supported, not contradicted. So one of the best things you can tell her is that you've got her back no matter what. It might not be good to tell her this directly when you're just getting to know her, but it's best to show this when your relationship is just starting. Show her that you can back her up in situations where she's going against the tide, and you'll be rewarded with a more meaningful relationship in the long run. If you guys are already in a relationship, show her that you plan to stick with her through all the ups and downs, the thick and thin. By presenting yourself as a reliable support system she can run to in her times of trouble, then you'll be someone she wants to be with for the rest of her life. 2. Be a shoulder she can lean on. Many girls want to show the world that they're strong and independent, that they can stand on their own without anyone's help. However, when they're all alone with no one else to show off to, most girls actually just look forward to talking to someone they can fully trust and rely on. Strong and independent girls still need their support systems, especially when they find that everything is too hard to handle just by themselves. Talking to her in a way that you're willing to listen and help her with her troubles is one way to deepen and give more meaning to your relationship, essentially making it stronger. 1. Be willing to understand her. Lastly, the best thing that you can tell a woman in a conversation is that you are very much willing to understand her and every intricate detail about her. It's true that girls can be complicated at times, but every other person is complicated in their own unique way. Showing girls that you're willing to give the effort to understand her and the way she sees the world is the best way you can keep a conversation with her going. Actually, showing her that you're going to take the effort to understand her is the first step to showing her that you can be a reliable and trustworthy support system. Showing her this at the start of every conversation is the most secure way to sustain it. If you want more content like this, be sure to check out this next video, which you can click right here.